Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for part 2 of Let's Build a Row of Terraced Houses. You're gonna have to bear with me a second right now because I can't 100% remember exactly what was going on because I filmed this video about a week ago. I just haven't done the voiceover for it yet. So this house here, the house number 2 of the 5, is the single mum's house, and I really tried to make it like what I would imagine a single mum's house is like. So they have an extension on this house, which is the galley kitchen, which I just built at the back there. It wasn't there when the house was originally built. It's an extension, it's been added on. Now what I wanted to do with this build is I wanted to make it like a real single mum's home. Like, her main priority is her daughter. So she has a daughter. I've already created the household, so I know that she has a daughter, and I really wanted to make it like her main priority is her daughter. She doesn't have tons and tons of money to splash out on a fancy home, so a lot of the house isn't to her taste, but she spends the majority of the money. She's a low earner, but the majority of the money that she makes goes on her daughter, which is understandable. So a lot of the house isn't necessarily decorated to what she would prefer it to be decorated to. But you know, she doesn't have tons and tons of money to splash out on the latest, prettiest things, objects, design, whatever you want to call it. So she definitely wants to change a lot of the house but can't afford to just yet. So that's the vibe I'm going for with this build, or this decoration if you like. So it took me 1 hour and 7 minutes to decorate this house, and I've sped it up times 4, so I'm gonna have to defo keep rambling on. I'm just adding wallpaper, floors, lights, windows, doors to the lower level. We've got a front room, a back room and a galley kitchen. The bathroom is upstairs in this build, and we've got archways going through all the rooms, so it's quite open. And what I'd imagine is a lot of what was in the house was already there when she moved in. So a lot of the wallpaper, a lot of the lights, you know, they were already there when she moved in. And in the kitchen, it's just bare floorboards at the moment because unfortunately she hasn't been able to afford to get laminate floors or anything in the kitchen just yet. So it's still exposed wooden floors there, which isn't what she wants, but it's all she can afford at the moment. So, well, it's not all that she can afford. I mean, it's just what the house came with. So, you know, she would like to definitely change things up a little bit, but she can't afford to right now, which is fine. And the kitchen's pretty traditional. We got basic units, and I tried to make it as cluttered as possible. You know, she's a working single mother. She can't afford, or no, not that she can't afford, but she doesn't have enough time to really clean the house. That's what I'm trying to say. She doesn't have a lot of time to clean the house, so it is a bit cluttered, which is fine. It's like every family home that you see around you know, suburban areas or in townhouses. There's not a lot of time to clean. She works a lot to provide for her daughter, and she doesn't have a lot of support, so she definitely struggles, and she doesn't have a lot of time to clean up. So a lot of stuff, there's a lot of storage, but there's also a lot of stuff around, which I'm just adding quite a few things around the kitchen area now. Just tons of clutter objects. That's what I was going for in this house. Lots and lots of clutter objects. So I needed to leave one surface clean because otherwise the Sims would complain that there isn't enough surface space for them to cook. So I added a few things to those shelves, and I used a lot of move objects on this house to make it extra cluttered, because you can't add clutter really without move objects. And the move object cheat is bb.moveobjects if anyone's curious. So I'm still on the kitchen at the moment, and I'm just adding some wall art, just a whole bunch of things. Like I mentioned in the last build, a lot of the character of the house will come once the Sims move in. Like, her daughter is very artistic and she likes to draw a lot. And she has a drawing table, so I'm gonna, when they move in, I'm gonna replace a lot of those pictures with drawings that her daughter has done, but just to make it look a little bit better, I just stuck some pictures on the walls, just to make it look more lived in. And then I'm adding a giant big dining room table, and what I decided to do was switch up the chairs a little bit so they were a little bit uneven, just because she inherited this dining table from her parents, but some of the chairs are broken, so she's replaced them with other chairs that she got off eBay, but they don't all match, so that's to be expected really. I'm just going in with some more decorations just to make it lots cluttered and messy and lived in is the theme that I'm going for. Just remember that this isn't a futuristic clean cut home, this is a realistic single mum home. So yeah, that's the theme I'm going for here, and I'm just going to add in a side table, which I can add some more clutter objects to. Yeah, and I'm just filling the space up. I'm trying to make it as cluttered as I possibly can. The dining room isn't her favourite room in the house. The living room is definitely her favourite room. She definitely has that. I don't know whether you guys have anyone in your family or your friends that has like, the living room is like, no kids are allowed in the living room. It's the adult room where like your parent, this is what it was like when I was a kid. The living room was the room where my parents held dinner parties and they had friends over, and we spent Christmas in the living room, and it was always clean, and it was my mum and dad's favourite room in the house. That's the vibe that I went for in this build. So the living room is defo her favourite room, and she's decorated it to how she wants the rest of her house to be decorated in. But obviously she hasn't been able to afford to deck out the rest of her house, and kids mess things up. Kids like drawer on the table, kids mess things up, but the living room is her room. It's where she spends a lot of her time and she really loves it. So that's the vibe I was going for in the living room. So it's very much like modern suburban mum. That's the theme I'm going for in the living room. And I've got this really cool wallpaper which again speaks to me as modern suburban mum. I mean, you guys might think differently, but this is what I interpret it to be. And I'm just putting lots of really nice couches in here, and where she can relax when her daughter's gone to sleep. She can have some me time, she can read a book or watch some telly. And I got this chair and stool, oh excuse me, oh excuse me guys, I got a chair and stool set. I don't know if it actually works, it probably doesn't, it's custom content. And yeah, I popped that there with this giant great big couch and this cool lamp, and I just think it's really, if I was a single mum, I think that I would enjoy this room. You would think of it as your room. I like it a lot, so I'm defo into it. For her, I think it's a really nice place for her to chill. So I'm just decking out with some pretty curtains, and then I'm looking for more surfaces where I can put nice vases and things on, which is definitely, yeah, she definitely enjoys this room a lot. I'm actually super excited for the next room, or the next house, sorry, which is the young couple house, and it's gonna be, I think it's going to be my favourite because I think it's going to be the house that's decorated most to my personal taste, like what I would want in my personal home. So I'm really excited for that decoration. So stay tuned for part 3 because it's going to be my favourite, I think. And I'm just going back into the dining room, and I'm in the clutter section. I'm just shoving tons and tons and tons of clutter objects into the surface areas of this room. Yeah, lived in is the theme of this house. Definitely. I really like how it turned out actually, because I think it's really realistic to what you would expect And yeah, I think you guys would agree that the living room is definitely the special adult room. most definitely. So I'm just going through the clutter objects again. I spent a lot of time in clutter in this build, which I'm happy with. And that mirror is perfect. It's custom content from My Sims Resource. I only ever get my custom content from My Sims Resource because I trust it. I don't trust like Tumblr. I'm always afraid like I'm gonna get something dodgy that's gonna mess up my game. So if you see any custom content on my channel, it's from the Sims Resource unless I say different. I think I've only got one object that's not from the Sims Resource, and if I ever use that I will say it's not from the Sims Resource, it's from Tumblr, or I'm not sure where it's from, but I'll find it. So if you see anything that's custom content, My Sims Resource, love it. I think I do want to do some custom content shopping videos, but I think we'll do some Sims 3 ones because there are tons and tons and tons of Sims 4 custom content shopping videos, so you guys will see plenty of those. But Sims 3 gets not a lot of shine these days, and I love the Sims 3, so yeah, defo do some of those in the future. Now I'm working on the garden area, and I've removed the floor there because I wanted grass in the garden, and I'm just going in and making it all kinds of pretty, putting some lights out there. And then I'm moving on to hedges. It's quite a lot of flowers and things in this garden. I think she's pleased. I feel like our single mum is happy with the garden. Defo, I'd be happy with this garden. My garden is horrible. My garden is literally, I live in a house similar, not exactly, but I live in a house similar to the style that I'm building here, and me and my partner, and our backyard is literally devoted to the bins. Like we have nowhere to sit, nowhere to enjoy the sun. The only time I go in the garden is to hang the washing out, because I definitely leave the bins up to him. I am not responsible for the bins, he is, and the only time I go in the garden is to hang the washing out, which is really sad, but I just don't go in the garden. I don't know, but yeah, she has a lovely garden. There's a seating area, they can enjoy the sunshine. And I'm just working on the upstairs now, and they've actually moved their bathroom upstairs as well, because initially when these houses were built, the bathroom, there was no bathroom because there was no plumbing in those days. So they've had their bathroom, or not necessarily our Sims, but Sims that lived in this house prior to our Sims have had the bathroom moved upstairs. And there are 2 bedrooms upstairs. There is the master bedroom and the child's bedroom, and I loved decorating the child's bedroom. It was so much fun. I'm just moving on to the bathroom now. It's a pretty grim bathroom, to be honest. It's a little bit, it does the job. That's the attitude, I think. I mean, it's not perfect, it's not clean cut, it's not beautiful like the last house was. It is literally a bathroom that does the job. They can't afford to have a whole new bathroom suite decked out, so it's a bit rank. If rank is the word, it could probably do with regrouting. Mold has settled into the grout, but you know, they can't afford to have it regrouted, so it does the job. You know, they can go to the toilet, they can have a wash, does the job. And now I move on to the master bedroom, and we've got a pretty basic set of stuff here. Like I said, she works hard, our single mum works hard to, you know, she makes a living so that she can buy her daughter nice things. Her daughter is her priority, so she definitely puts her daughter's needs and wants before her own. So her bedroom is pretty plain, not a lot going on, plain colours. Definitely plain colours. She doesn't have a lot of nice stuff, but wait till you see the kids' room. The kids' room is amazing. I just can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm just loving how different all these builds are, and I loved that chest of drawers there because it had like a sort of distressed look about it, like it's secondhand, which is definitely the vibe I was going for. And I decided to pop an easel in here because I thought that our single mum would enjoy painting to de-stress a little bit. Definitely. and just trying to find some curtains that look really nice, and I go for the traditional, the curtains I always go for. Oh, excuse me guys, all this talking's making my throat really dry. It's really neutral, a bedroom, to be honest. It's, you know, like I said, all of her money, time and devotion goes on her daughter, so she would love to spend a little bit more time making her bedroom really lovely, but it's not her priority, which is fine. And now my favourite room of all, the children's bedroom. Like I mentioned before, she does have a little girl, so I spent a little bit of time choosing a bed, and I went with this custom content one in the end. And then I get on to the fun part. I get on to putting loads of toys and all kinds of exciting stuff in her bedroom. I put a desk in there, but I don't know whether I keep the desk. I think I get rid of it in the end. And I get this really cute rug, and it's just the perfect little girl's bedroom. Like, you can see, well, I think you can see, this is where the money goes. This is where our lovely single mum has put all of her time, effort and simoleons. Definitely. And I love that little curtain, but I was having a few issues placing it, so I think I go in with this one in the end. Which is also custom content from My Sims Resource, and is really pretty. Oh guys, you're gonna have to excuse me, my throat is really crackly from all this talking. And that's the art table, which is one of my favourite pieces of the children's activities set, because I love how the kids can do pictures and you can put them on the walls, and I intend to replace a lot of the art in the house with pictures that our little girl has drawn. And then I'm getting loads of toys, and I'm shoving toys on the floor, on the top of the surfaces, everywhere, because kids make mess, and it's fine. It's okay. Like, I see a lot of builds, oh excuse me, I see a lot of builds done on The Sims where it's just too clean. Like, kids make mess, and that's okay. It's alright for kids to make mess, guys. Definitely. So embrace that, embrace the mess. You know, it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Make it fun and realistic. So I shoved toys everywhere in this room, and it's so cluttered, but I love it so much. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this build. Don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and I will see you for part 3, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.